The weather was very good to us and the traffic wasn't too bad. We've joined this local coach tour of the city and we're been halfway around. They've stopped by the station.
The Royal York Hotel.
Just outside the Royal York Hotel where I stayed.
Slimmer.
Just slimmer. And there's a view of York Minster.
Now we go over the river in a minute, and that's where we had our
As we now
river
pull
trip.
away, leaving the railway station mentioned in the city. As we pass George Lehman, we'll be turning left onto Lehman Road, named after the man himself. This will bring us up to our best stop for the National Railway Museum, one of the busiest museums in the city and voted National Museum of the Year on a number of occasions. To reach the museum, walk ahead of the bus and continue under the bridge, and the museum is on the right hand side of the road just past the bridge. Extensive restoration to the city's defences in the 19th century. The purpose of the arches being to try and cope with the ever-increasing volumes of traffic, a problem that we are still trying to deal with to this very day. On passing through the archway, we will turn to the left in order to cross the River Ouse, York's major waterway. The bridge we are using is known as Lundell and was opened to traffic in 1863. During its construction, the half-completed bridge collapsed into the river, costing the lives of 5 men. At this point, Thomas Page, the designer of Westminster Bridge, was called in to oversee the completion of the project. When the bridge eventually opened, it had cost in the region of £35,500, and as such, as we cross the river, note the building on the far bank of the river to the right-hand side. This is York's medieval guild hall, dating from the mid-15th century. In 1938, it was discovered that York experienced its only significant air raid of the Second World War, and the building was near destroyed. Work began again in 1956, and the present hall, rebuilt as far as possible to the original design, was reopened by Her Royal Highness the Queen Mother in 1960. We'll shortly be pulling up onto our museum gardens stop. If you look directly ahead of the bus coming into view, you'll see the Victorian facade of the Theatre Royal. The theatre itself obtained its royal patent from George III in 1769 at a cost of £500. Our next stop, coming up on the left-hand side, is known as Exhibition Square, this being the best stop for the City Art Gallery, the King's Manor, the Theatre Royal, the De Grey Rooms for tourist and visitor information, and also for Booth and Bar, where you can get and you'll see a large stone gateway in the city of Booth and Bar. Booth and Bar is the only one of York's 4 main gateways that stands directly on the site of one of the faced northwest. The present medieval gate dates from the 13th and 14th centuries, although there is some original 11th century stonework still in place. In particular, look to the very top of the gate and you'll see 3 stone statues. We'll be coming onto a street known as Gillygate, taking its name from the long since demolished church of St Giles. The church and the street. The buildings themselves were built between 1845 and 1846 and were designed by G.T. Andrews. Originally the college was for teacher training, but now all manner of subjects are taught at the college, which is affiliated to the University of Leeds, and not, as you would expect, to the University of York. As we continue down Lord Mayor's Walk, look to the right. Coming into view, you'll see the great east end of the Minster, note in particular the vast east window. This is in fact the largest medieval stained glass window in the world, slightly larger than a tennis court city's bars. This one is known as Monk Bar and stands at some 63 feet high. Monk Bar was the only one of York's bars to retain a working portcullis. You don't know what the portcullis is, and looking back, still standing that was mentioned in the Domesday Survey of 1086. Looking ahead of the bus to the left, you'll see a timber framed building. This is the Black Swan Inn. We can recommend the inn as a stop for a pub lunch. If you a word of caution though, the Black Swan is reputed to have 2 resident and very active ghosts.
There's the Black Swan.
Where?
Some of the shambles can still be seen protruding from under the ground from 1190. This day has gone down in York's history as the Clifford's Tower Massacre. The Clifford's Tower Massacre saw some 150 Jews commit suicide inside the tower rather than face the anger of a large anti-Semitic mob that had gathered around the tower. The anti-Jewish rioting that had spread from London in York saw the worst ever atrocity against members of the Jewish faith in British history. Terribly, the rioting was started in York by a number of landowners in the city who saw their chance of using the bad feeling throughout the country to their own ends. They actually owed the Jewish community an awful lot of money, so by starting the riots there was a good chance that they could rid themselves of their debts. I'm sure you'll agree that this is indeed the worst day in York's history.
Here we have, we've come off the bus now, and now we're going to start walking around the wall. This is the beginning of it, which passes over the river. Was it the River Ouse?
Yes.
It is. As you can see, the sun finally came out for us. The wind's a little bit cold, but well, it's up nice and warm, so what?
Now we went on the river for a meal.
What? When you what was it?
That was for Slimmer.
When you yeah,
That's about, I'm sure, that's the one we went on.
for a meal.
Yeah, for
Is
the
it?
evening.
Oh, I see.
It was
Oh.
hired for private party.
Right.
It's certainly a boat like that anyway.
And this is the river you cruised down, was
Yes.
it?
And it was all floodlit. Oh, it was wonderful.
Oh. Right, here we are. Now, this is the beginning of the wall. We're going to go in through that. And then
Let me take you.
we're going to go in through that tower and up onto the wall and walk round the wall. There she goes. Give us a wave then.
Get on, you can't get off.
Get on and go off. Whew, just got on top of the walls. Now we're actually walking round the wall itself, which they've preserved and kept it as a natural walk. Hey? Oh, that's the Black Swan, isn't it? Yeah.
I suppose it's, oh, I don't know. No, is it? No, I don't think so. That's just another swan.
That's where we're going to go, right round there. These houses are inside at the castle wall. There it is. And where we just come from.
And this was after school, before we moved on home from work.
You used to walk all round this bit.
I don't remember. I know it's round the walls. Why don't you let me do something? From the wall.
So we come round There's this beautiful display of daffs.
At the castle.
In actual fact, it's just as if we were in Amsterdam at the Boldfields. We carry on through this along the walk, and we come to a little passageway here. And that's one of these gates into the city through the wall. It's a tower they built.
Is it on?
No.
That's it. Okay, we're away. This is the original York station we are showing here. But when they built it, almost immediately they realised it wasn't big enough. So this is inside the city walls. So they then had to rebuild outside. I'll take you there in a minute. That's it. Here's Peter enjoying himself. At last he's managed to get onto the city walls. He never thought he'd make it. The weather's glorious, it's cold, breezy, but the sun's shining.
No, it's lovely. No, it's beautiful.
The sun's shining.
I'll take this off.
Oh, eh?
I'll take this off, it's getting too hot.
Yeah, I should say
Show
so.
me the station.
Right, now here's the main station, the new station.
In the air there, come down.
Right, sorry about that. Okay, stop pushing me over the wall. And here's the station as it is today. A massive station.
Slowly, not too fast. Okay, now I'll take another one of the old...
A wonderful station.
Right, you stop with that.
Okay. Right, here's another view of the old station, the original. You can see where the platform, I would assume, was. The beautiful old building.
Did you get the wooden bit?
Yeah, yes, I've got that. And there's the modern buildings behind it.
I don't see the old places. Okay.
Right, okay, now here we are again. This is the modern station. I say modern, of course this was also built many, many years ago. But this is the front. And right alongside it, of course, is the Royal York Hotel.
Here you can see we're still walking around the wall, and we're walking towards York Minster. We're going to go along that bit there, and there's York Minster. Off you go, go on. As you see, the wind's got a bit cold, but the sun is still out.
There. Remember coming down the bridge, down the walk, along there, and that's where we picked up the boat.
Was it?
Yeah, so if that's the boat, I don't know.
So down the bridge, over the bridge, and down that walk there, and picked up the boat there.
That's right, and this I think is the Lendal Bridge.
Is what?
Lendal Bridge.
So you can see we just finished walking down the walls, and we've come down to the river, photograph this bridge. It's a very modern bridge, but it's got a nice design.
All the heraldry, coats of arms.
And now we're going to go. Here we are, we're inside York Minster.
You must be looking to the east window.
Is that the east window?
Yes.
There's the organ down there, look.
Yes.
See it?
Yes.
Really, the camera can't catch it properly. It isn't a big enough arc on it. Need a wide-angled lens.
Which you left at home.
Yeah.
I take it you didn't bring it, did you?
No, I didn't. No.
Shame.
You just can't imagine the vastness of this place. It's all down one side. Look. Turn around this way and as far as you can see again that way. I'm really standing in the middle. Look at all these carvings all around. So, all the way around. Yep.
Did you get the rose window up there? Because that's the one that's been replaced.
This is the road window, which has been replaced. In when?
The fire was in 1984. It was restored by 1987.
Okay. Here we are, the entrance to the Shambles, which is a very old street in York.
I'm not doing this very well, I know I'm not. I'm going to get shot when I get home.
Not doing it very well, but she's saying in a very soft voice.
Right.
Yeah. This used to be the street of butchers, and what they mean by displaying the meat, they used to display the meat on these shelves. Noticing each shop has got them all the way along. We just walking along, and we just came across this little alleyway, and Diane shouted. I thought I'd better take a look at it. Taking this because I don't know whether you can see on the camera, but the frame is actually crooked. Now here we are, this is day 3, and this morning it was raining when we got up. So we went off to the metro centre until about 2:30, and then the sun started to come out. So we went along the A1 to